We're live, guys. I'm in the camper van. This is a test. My hair. That side up. Okay. I'm sure I'm getting a bit fatter. Right. It's defending Elvis Presley. We're doing a test live stream. Let's have a look. So, let's go. Let me... We've got half an hour. We've got 30 minutes. Let me just let everyone know. Is it working, guys? I just want to see if it's working. Someone message me so I can see if it's working. Stacy, it's working. Now, I just thought... Let's see if we've got any charge in the battery. Hi, Elaine. I just thought that I'm parked outside in the camper van. You can see where we are. Look, where's the steering wheel? Can you see the steering wheel from here? No. I just thought, actually, I'll get a bit of quiet in here. I've only got half an hour because I've got to take Yasmin to dancing class. Yasmin does like a street dance class. So I thought instead of reading, I have got my books, but I did think I want to go through some comments with you guys. So I've been getting quite a few comments from you guys recently, and you are having a right good chat. Let's have a look. I think Elaine, you sent me a few. I haven't had a chance to read anything. So who are we talking about? All right, you've been sending me some of Priscilla Presley's dating history. I think one of the things... I'll click on that. Right. Can't see Barbara Hearn, but didn't they date on and off? Good question, Elaine. So let's give a chance for people to join us. Are you here? First of all, can you hear me, guys? You will get a better signal outside. Nice coffee. Now, not completely true, Elaine, because I tried it yesterday and it all went wrong. You can hear me fine. That's good. So this is definitely a test. Elaine, I'm just clicking on the stuff you sent me. Elvis. Oh, we've got Elvis dating. All right. Okay. Let's go through some of Elaine's stuff. Why not? Elaine, do you want to be a star of the day? We can go through your stuff. Right. Elaine has sent me this. Elvis Presley's dating history. And it's a ranking of 861, which I don't know what that means. Relationships, 52. 52. In case anyone's new on here, we are defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. I think the title lets you guys know exactly why we're here. Exactly why we're here. I had a few negative comments on YouTube today from subscribers. I just don't think there's any need for it, guys. I just think we're I always think this. We're here to make Elvis, to big up Elvis. Any comment that makes Elvis look smaller isn't welcome. We're here to big up Elvis, not to Elvis. So, right, let's have a look. So we are defending Elvis. We're defending Lisa Marie. We're defending Benjamin. We're defending Riley, Finley and Harper. We're here for Gladys. We defend even Vernon. And I know you guys have strong feelings about Vernon. But that is why we're here. So that's the kind of comments we want. Up Elvis comments, not down Elvis comments. So I've clicked on it. First of all, it's got a long list of his dating history, Elaine. Let's just have a look. Let me just double check that. Okay, let's have a look. Right. So let's read it. Married, we know this. Married to Priscilla in 1967 to 1973. But really, was it 73? They were done and dusted by 72-ish, weren't they? But okay, it wasn't official. Well, I'm going to do both. I think I've got enough time to do both, Elaine. So Elvis, let's do it. We have Linda Thompson was. This is not my dates. This is the dates on here. Okay. So we have got Linda Thompson, which is between 1972 and 1976. And what we know is they weren't really full on. How many years is that? So that's 4 years. We've heard it was 4.5 years. That there's a film, a YouTube film called Elvis Presley and the Beauty Queen. It's like an old 1980s film. I actually quite like it. I know it's got Don Johnson off Miami Vice playing Elvis, but I actually quite liked it. Some of you don't like it because it's weird seeing Don Johnson as Elvis, but I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was all right. Let's have a look. We then have Barbara Lee. Now, from 1970 to 1972. Now, isn't Barbara Lee the one that had a child? Is that true? Does anyone know? Did Barbara Lee have a child? Does anyone know? Because obviously there's this thing that is said that Elvis wouldn't sleep with anyone that had a child, which I think is completely untrue. Untrue, yeah. Let's have a look. Now, this silly thing that has gone around the world, I think is ridiculous, that Elvis won't sleep with someone that's had a child. Trust me, guys, I don't care what anyone says that to me. I don't care who says it, what book, what person. Unless Elvis says it to me himself, it is bull, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I don't believe that Elvis won't sleep with someone that's had a child. I understand some people say that he said something to that effect when he was 19, 20. I get that. Yeah. If he's a teenager saying that he won't sleep with an older woman, of course. Yeah, I believe that because he's a teenager. But as a grown man, you know, there's no way that I believe this rubbish that he won't sleep with a woman that's had a child. And if he's had a child, I mean, sorry, and if Elvis didn't want to sleep with Priscilla after she'd had Lisa Marie Presley, well, first of all, she needed to recover when Lisa Marie was first born around in February. Yeah, February the 1st. Give her a chance to recover, of course, like all men have to when their partners have a baby. But then you've got the Steve Peck affair, the Steve Peck relationship that I think happened around March, 2 to 3 months after Lisa was born. So, of course, once he found out about that, there's no way he was going to sleep with her. So this thing about Elvis not sleeping with a woman after she's had a child is rubbish. Unless you're talking about him when he was 19 years old, then that's different. So then we've got Joyce Bova. It says here from 1970 to 1972. I'm going to be straight with you guys. I know nothing about Joyce Bova. We've got Susan Henning from 1969 to 1972. Am I getting these dates right? Am I mixing up these dates? Well, these dates might not be completely correct. Let's have a look. I think, yes, I am mixing up the dates. So it's Joyce Bova was from 1970 to 72. Now we know that Susan. No, hang on, no, I'll start again. I'm starting again. Now we know, right? Okay, because it is it's very bunched together, guys. Look, it's bunched together. Hi, Lorna. Hi, Team Elvis. Hi, Elaine. Right, I can see it better now. We have Susan Henning, which we know about, was 68 and 69. Yeah, do we agree with that? She's off the 68 comeback special. I think the film Live a Little, Love a Little, whatever it is. She had also had a child, which completely throws away the myth that Elvis won't sleep with someone who's had a child, which is just ridiculous anyway. Right, so Joyce Bova must have been 69 to 72. Then we have another one, Mariana Hill, which it says here it was 1965. I don't know who that is. Do any of you know Mariana Hill? Then we have Anne Margaret, 63 to 64. Is that right? I actually don't know. How long did they see each other for? I thought it was longer than that. Does anyone, if you disagree with my dates, please say so. Let's just have a look. I'm learning here as well, guys. So I'm sure it wasn't it longer than that. 63 to 64. Anne Margaret. Anyone know? All right. So Natalie says it was a year. Okay. So Yvonne Craig, 1962 to 1963. I don't know who that is. Now, if I had more time, I would look up each one, but I've only got about 25 minutes left, so I'm not going to do it today. I think we can go through this maybe tomorrow, but this time we'll actually look up each name. We'll quickly do a short. I've got a bit of a cold, by the way, guys. We'll look up each face, and maybe we'll get a brief reading of their history, who they are, what they look like. We'll do a bit of that tomorrow. I'll probably enjoy that. Right, okay. Well, that's interesting, Elaine. Stephen Peck's real name is... Oh, I'm going to take a picture of that. Thanks, Elaine. I want to look that up. I have Yvonne Craig was 62 to 63. I don't know who she is. We will look her up. Nancy Caesar, 61 to 62. I don't know who that is. We'll look her up. June Wilkinson, 1958. Have no idea who that is. Then we have Margaret Bergen, 1958 to 59. No idea. We're going to look all these up tomorrow. Kathleen Case, 57 to 60. Do any of you agree with these names? Kathleen Case. Anita Wood. Now, that's one that we do know. 1957 to 1962. Then we have Yvonne Lyme, who was 1957. Jana Lund was 1957 again. So I'm laughing because it's 2 in 1 year, but just so then we've got a controversial one, Natalie Wood. Did they actually date? I know that they in the Kurt Russell film, wasn't she in that? You know, showing there was a scene in that where he was with, you know, the Natalie Wood. Now I love Natalie Wood. The West Side Story, and even Rebel Without a Cause, with James Dean. But did he actually date her? We know that Natalie Wood, the mum didn't really like her much, the way she was dressed. And Natalie Wood found that Elvis's closeness to his mother made her feel uncomfortable and made an excuse to go home. So I wouldn't say, but Natalie, she's stunning. Stunning. I've read quite a few things about Natalie Wood, and I've always been interested in Natalie Wood. She had quite a few boyfriends, didn't she? Had quite a few boyfriends. So June Junico, one of our favorites. We know about Biloxi and their beautiful romance and how they met. Elvis noticed her at the front row of one of his concerts and pulled her arm towards him and said, "What are you doing later?" And they had this lovely summer romance in Biloxi. And we know about the fishing boat and the beautiful color footage that we've all seen. And even Vernon and Gladys joined them on one of those fishing trips. Shows Elvis eating and fishing and just playing around, kissing and cuddling with June Junico. She is stunning. I've always thought June Junico was stunning. And I think one of the girls he left behind, that I think he may have still pined for June Junico, even though it was very early in his career. He had just achieved fame when he met June Junico. Yeah, but I think even maybe have made a film. It just wasn't meant to be, guys. But I love the pictures of Elvis with June Junico. I think they're beautiful, beautiful, a stunning girl and a lovely personality. If you listen to her interviews, just a beautiful girl that always spoke very highly of Elvis. I really respect how she stayed true to Elvis in the way of how she portrayed him. And I think she got to see a pre-fame, unaffected Elvis. Even though he was famous, he had made a movie. He was super famous. But I still think at that point in 1956, Elvis was very, still very raw and very real. I do believe that my favorite Elvis is the 1955, 56, 57 Elvis. I love that Elvis. My favorite. Right, let's keep going. So we have Wanda Jackson, 1955 to 1956. I have no idea who she is. There are photos of each woman after the list. If you scroll down, I will, but I just want to read through this. Don't forget, I've only got 20 minutes left. Right, I don't think even the kids know I'm in here. I'm like hiding from the kids. Okay, let's keep going. It's quite interesting though, Elaine. It's okay. We got this. So then we've got Dixie Lock, which I think we all know about, from 1952 to 1955. And then we have Debbie Minardo's. Debbie Minardo, I have no idea. And then this one is more of Elvis had encounters with. Quite interesting, actually. Kathy Westmoreland. And many of you have said to me that Kathy, they didn't really have a proper relationship. Wasn't she a backing singer? You tell me, guys. Let me just check. Elaine, I'm going to do a proper video on all these names. We're going to do this properly. But for now, we're going to skip through it. Yes, so she was a country singer. Let's have a look. I know, Teresa, we know you love Anne Margaret. Yeah, I have to go into work soon. I already had a not good day. Being on here right now makes me feel so much happy. Jean, we love you. Jean, come on. Jean. Cheer up, Jean. Cheer up, Jean. What's that song off Willy Wonka? Cheer up, Charlie. Cheer up, Jean. Just be glad you're you. Right. Okay, so we've got Sheila Ryan. Stunning girl. If you see her interviews on YouTube, she is proper beautiful. Sheila Ryan is. One of my favorite of the good-looking women Elvis dated, but did they really date? Wasn't she with James Caan? Did she end up marrying James Caan? I am a fan of James Caan. I really like James Caan. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Team Elvis is talking about the forged marital license. Isn't that Dixie Lock? Pretty sure that was Dixie Lock. No, not Dixie Lock. No, I got it wrong. No. I used to think it was Dixie Lock. In the end, it was. Was it Debbie? Debbie Minardo's? Anyone else? No. We know about this. He got his mum's marriage certificate and forged it. Right, let's have a look. I have got a bit of a cold, guys. I'm like, ugh. Do any of you have a cold? Any of you are a bit snivelly? So Sybil Shepherd, we know about that. She's given some interviews with Elvis in 1975, it says here. Kathy Westmoreland was 76. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't like the way Sybil Shepherd talks about Elvis. She says stupid stuff about him, like about white knickers and stuff. I just didn't like it. And obviously, we remember her with Bruce Willis off Moonlighting, but not keen on the way she spoke about Elvis. Kitty Carl, I have no idea. Raquel Welch, I'm a massive fan of Raquel Welch. Obviously, she's the James Bond girl, isn't she? And we chatted about her earlier. You guys were saying that she wasn't his type. She was a bit butch for him. And it's mentioned in the Priscilla book. We don't know if that's true, how Priscilla spoke about Raquel Welch. Peggy Lipton. I think I have seen interviews about Peggy Lipton, which is 72. Raquel Welch was 72. Kitty Carl was 73. So I'm whizzing through a bit because I've got to go soon. We've got Cassandra Peterson in 69. Now, Nancy Sinatra, we know, met Elvis on the way back when he came out of army. She had a gift from Frank Sinatra, her father. I think it was a silk shirt. Now, they were never a couple. I think she was engaged to Bobby Sands. Yes? Do we agree with that? Oh, yeah. Do you know what, Elaine? You're right. It was Ursula Andrews. I got it wrong. You're right. I take that back. So let me just say about Nancy Sinatra. Now, Elaine told me she is friended or on my Twitter X channel. She follows me. I have made quite a few videos of Nancy Sinatra. I have, and I'm a big fan. So that was, so we know that was just an encounter rather than they did kiss. They did make a movie together, and they were very good friends, very close friends. I've watched quite a few interviews of Nancy Sinatra, and she does admit that she did fancy him, and she did want. No, that's the wrong way of putting it. She did find him attractive and sexy, but nothing was going to happen. I really respect Nancy Sinatra. She's one of the ones I really like, even though she wasn't his girlfriend. I really like her. Right, I'm a bit snivelly, but Mary Ann Mobley, 1965. Chris Noel, 1965. Don't know who that is. Shelley Fabars, yes, I've seen lots of interviews with her. 1964. Phyllis Davis, don't know. Tuesday Weld, no, that was 64. 62. Sherry Jackson, don't have no idea. These, right, let's have a look. So we got Sherry Jackson, don't know. Anne Helm, 1961. Now, these are just acquaintances, guys, not girlfriends. Still very interesting, though. Carol Connors, 1960. Then we've got Venetia Stevenson, 1957. Jean Carmen, 57. Tempest Storm. A lot of these names I just don't know, guys. Gloria Powell, 1957. No. Comment away, guys, if you recognize any of them. Penny Banner was 1956. Oh, it mentions Mindy Miller. Now, they were dating, weren't they? But it doesn't give a year. Now, Mindy Miller, as far as we know, and we love Mindy Miller, I think was 1975. I think she was seeing him off and on for 18 months. Linda Rogers, no. Gail Green and Joan Bradshaw. And then it does then say Elvis is rumored to have hooked up with Joan O'Brien in 1963. Does anyone know who Joan O'Brien is? And then we've got Tina Louise, which, I'm sorry, guys, I have no idea who that is, and Christian Smitch. Right, let's quickly just look. I'm not going to point them out, but now Elaine did say just to, oh, look, Ginger Alden's on here. It doesn't even mention her, did it? You recognize some of those? Let's keep going. A silly advert on the bottom. I mean, Linda Thompson still looks good, doesn't she? She really does. Right. Sorry, I'm very snivelly. I'm very sniffy. Barbara Lee, Cassandra Peterson. Nancy, I can see that's Nancy Sinatra. Joyce Bova. I think there's quite a few videos with Joyce, isn't there? I've watched a few. Now, Susan Henning, she was a stunner. Marianne Hill. The blonde one. Who's the blonde one? She's very pretty. Chris Noel. Oh, I recognize Phyllis Davis. Let me just show you. I can hear noises, right? Aren't she? Let's have a look. Great, actually, really good pictures, Elaine. Now, Barbara Lee, isn't she one of the ones that had a baby? So it sort of cancels out this bullshit that Elvis didn't sleep with a woman if she'd had a baby. All right, Ginger's mentioned at the beginning. Thank you. I am rushing it a bit. Still really interesting, though, Elaine. I'm enjoying it. It's really good. Annoying that I keep sniveling. Oh, your favourite guys, Priscilla Presley. Send me all the hearts now for the Priscilla Presley one, guys. Teresa, I was joking. Elaine, I'm going to click each one tomorrow. Not today. We don't have time. Oh, I can hear the kids screaming, so I'm going to have to go in a sec. Ooh, why has it just done that? See, look, it gives me a car advert. We don't want a car advert. Let's click on the June Junico one for Elaine, just because to see what it does, yeah? All right, I see. Look at that. Now that is interesting. June Junico. And it has a little, what does it say about her? It just says that it says the year they were together. About June Junico. Let's just read just the June Junico one. June Junico, an 86-year-old American personality born on the 19th of November 1937 in the United States. She is famous for one of Elvis Presley's girlfriends in 1956. Her zodiac sign is Scorpio. Who is June Junico? June Junico's boyfriend, husband. Let's help us build up a profile. Quite interesting. It describes her as being single. I know that isn't she in a nursing home now? Is she still alive? I don't know. She was born in 19th of November 1937. Really interesting, actually. Claim to fame, one of Elvis's girlfriends. That's really, I find that brilliant. Really good. Really good. I'm going to go through some of those. So we say it again. Priscilla writes in her book that she and Elvis slept together after Lisa was born, but she felt unfulfilled and started looking for another man. Well, sorry, I keep sniveling. I don't like that I'm sniveling. So she says in the book, Elvis and Me, yeah, Team Elvis, in the book Elvis and Me, she says that she and Elvis slept together after Lisa was born, but she felt unfulfilled and started looking for another man. What page have you got the book with you? Because we've been reading this book. Now, I know we've still got some more chapters to read. Now, I didn't read that she said that she had slept with Elvis again and felt unfulfilled. Now, I can imagine that she said she was unfulfilled because Elvis would obviously go off. No, what I'm saying is, Team Elvis, I can imagine. Come on, let's face it. After she was unfaithful with Steve Peck, yeah, there's no way Elvis was going to touch her. No way, yeah. So I've always said this. There was a fake marriage in 68, 69, 70. So I completely understand that she felt like unwanted, unattractive, unfulfilled. I completely understand that, definitely. But I don't know if it will be in there saying that she actually had sex with Elvis again after 68, once she found out once Elvis found out that she'd been unfaithful. Does anyone know? Did Elvis sleep with Priscilla again after she'd had Lisa Marie in 1968 and felt unfulfilled? Does anyone know about that? No. I'll tell you what, the only way I'm going to find out, now we are on chapter 15 next, yeah? So we'll probably, it's going to take a while to get to that, but let's see if she says it. Okay, if she says it, she says it. I'm not, now, remember, while I'm reading this book, I am disputing everything in this book. Everything. There's not one thing in this book I believe. What I want to do is, because obviously this was written from her point of view with no witnesses, just loosely based on facts and real people, but no, we don't know that any of this, not even one word of this book is true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying we don't know. There is no proof. There is no witnesses. It was only written by one person, Priscilla, with the help of Sandra Harmon. So everything in this book, I dispute every single detail. But I also accept, because I'm going to be fair, that some of the details in this book may be true, in it. Just like some of the details in this book may be true, yeah? Some is true, some is not. This book has a lot more witnesses. We've heard about the so-called way that they had some form of lie detection with the people in this book. We've also been told that Priscilla also was interviewed by Suzanne Finstad, the author of this book, concerning this book. We also know that Priscilla sued Cary Grant because he accused her of rape on more than once. Yeah, and that I think Priscilla won the lawsuit, awarded $75,000. This is only what I've read, and that she allowed Cary Grant to not pay it because he had no money, as long as he kept his mouth shut. Yeah, so this is where I am with that book. But I'm enjoying reading it, and I'm going to read another chapter, and I'm going to carry on reading Child Bride as well. It must be just before she writes the book. I think he did, as he tried to make the marriage work, as he forgave her, and they went on a second honeymoon. Yeah, I know about the second honeymoon. So he definitely could have done, Elaine. Definitely could have done. Yes, see footage of them with baby Lisa in Hawaii. Yep. Well, in Vegas, when he pounced on her right before she left him. I've read that many times. Do we know that happened? Is this the so-called he pinned her down and nearly raped her scene? Is that what you're talking about, chilling in Canada? Because we don't know that happened. But what I will say is that Priscilla has gone on to say that Elvis didn't want to sleep with a woman that had a child, and she has said it many times. Now, the way she says it, she doesn't come out with it. She doesn't come out with it. The way she says it is she waits for it to be questioned, and then she responds. Now, it was on Loose Woman. Recently on Loose Woman, Priscilla was being questioned. One of the interviewers disagreed with Priscilla and said to her, well, isn't it true that Elvis wouldn't sleep with you? And then her reply was something like, oh, I know what you're talking about. And oh, yes, we did sleep together, but I don't want to go there. I know what you're talking about. Yeah? Do any of you remember that scene on the Loose Women interview? So, I think Team Elvis just hinted that Elvis had slept with Priscilla after Lisa Marie was born, but in her own interviews, so I've got to go in a minute. In her own interviews, she has said indirectly, because the question is always asked by the interviewer. She has insinuated, and it's been repeated again and again and again, that Elvis refused to sleep with her because she'd had a baby, and that Elvis had once said he would never sleep with a woman that had a child, which is rubbish, unless, because I've had other comments, we're talking about him when he was a teenager, so 19, and he was more saying that he wouldn't sleep with an older woman that was like married with kids. Now that's different. That is different. Well, you asked if there was an account of. Yeah, I mean, I dispute the rape scene. I dispute it. Elvis did not want his family to break up, so forgive her for the adultery. I do believe that, Elaine. I think for a couple of years he tried to make a go of it, but he did go on to be unfaithful. I want to be fair. We know about Susan Henning. We've got the video footage. The veracity is if question. I'm not sure what that means. He said that as a teen. Yeah, now that I would believe that. Team Elvis, I would believe that it's the sort of thing a teenager would say. Of course, why would a teenager want to sleep with an older married woman in the 1960s, 1950s? Actually, he would have said it in the 50s, wouldn't he? Yeah. So I understand that it could have come from a teenager, not from a grown man. Elvis was a grown man in his mid to late 20s by the time Lisa Marie was born. So it's completely different. It's a different context. Lisa made a difference. If there was no Lisa, he would not have. I agree with that as well. Elaine, I completely agree with that. Everything was different because of Lisa Marie. He wanted to do the right thing. He didn't want to come across to the public as have a broken family, and he wanted Lisa Marie to know that mum and dad were still together. But once the Mike Stone unfaithfulness happened, too much had gone on and he couldn't take it. Let's have a look. She lies so much she can't remember her and lies, and she changes the story all the time. Elaine, yes, this is true, Elaine. Elaine, welcome to our channel. Are you new? Welcome to Team Elvis. We always like new people. If you're not new, thanks for joining us today. That's always a chance. Hi, Teresa. Yeah, she does seem to change the story over the decades. Maybe forget. Let's have a look. Yeah, a teenager would see things differently. Come on, you know, I get it. There are rumors that she had more affairs before Mike Stone, so he went back to having other women. It could be true, and this is why we are defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth because we are digging and digging, and we're trying to get to the truth, but we're trying to be fair. So we're trying to see Elvis's mistakes as well as girlfriend mistakes, Priscilla's mistakes, and other girlfriends. So we are trying to not be too biased, because if we're too biased, I don't think we can be completely honest in the way that we dig for the truth. We have to say all sides of the story and be fair. Now, obviously, we are all Elvis fans. We all love Elvis. So sometimes it's quite hard for us to be impartial, but we have to try. Right, I need to go now, guys. I'm going to come back and do another live, probably quite soon. But I've got to drop my daughter off to dancing, and then I'm sort of free then. So I may come back and carry this on, but this time look at Priscilla Presley's different partners that she's had. But this has been okay. We've had a 40-minute live. Quite enjoyed it. Thanks to Elaine. Elaine is the reason we did this live. So thank you, Elaine. Really appreciate it. Thanks all of you guys. Hi, Lorna. Thanks all of you guys. Thanks, Natalie. All of you. I appreciate all of you. Everyone commenting. I really appreciate it. And this has been great fun. Really, I've enjoyed drinking my coffee with you. Thanks. And I've got a bit of a cold, so I apologize for me sniveling. And you're in my camper van, guys. My 1967 VW split screen camper van. And I'm going to take my daughter Yasmin to dance lessons in this. But I'm only dropping her off. Take care, guys. Love to all of you. Thanks to everyone. See you soon. I'll see you very soon, okay? All of you can message me direct. You can also go on the 24/7 Facebook Messenger. You're all welcome to message me and each other. Join the chat. It's really good. You will love it. Take care, guys.